Today I'm going to be answering one of the most popular questions that I get as a realtor, and that is, what's earnest money anyway? Well, that's what we're talking about today, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Carla here with Keller Williams Realty, your local realtor in Clarksville, Tennessee. And today I'm going to be covering what exactly is earnest money. This comes up a lot, especially in my buyer's consultations with many first-time home buyers that I work with, PCSing into the area to Fort Campbell, or first-time home buyers relocating from out of state. And in short, earnest money is a good faith deposit on a home that you're looking to purchase. So when you go to make an offer on a home, it is pretty customary and common to put down earnest money as a way of communicating to the seller that I'm serious about your home. We're not messing around. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and here is some earnest money to prove that. Right now, anywhere from between $500 to $1,500, somewhere in that range is pretty customary, but be sure and ask your realtor about what they recommend. Or in other words, it's telling the seller that you're a more serious buyer, you have skin in the game, and that could potentially make your offer stand out and be stronger amongst the competition, and that's what we were looking for. Now, once the seller accepts your offer, yay, then your earnest money is going to be held at either your realtor's brokerage or at the title company that you're going to be closing at. Now, at that point, you're going to have several time periods throughout the next 30 to 40 days that you're in escrow. It's what they refer to it as, that time period between when you go under contract, your offer is accepted, to the time you close. During that time period, you're going to have your home inspections, all the home inspections that you want to do. If you want to inspect the roof, a traditional home inspection, termite inspection, whatever you want, any inspections that you want during that certain amount of period that's in your contract and specified. Then you're also going to have your appraisal somewhere along the way if you're getting a mortgage on the home. And then you also need to make sure your financing is good to go. Now, if any of those things goes awry, say you find something in one of your home inspections that you're not happy about, you discover something that you don't like, then you wish to get out of the contract. That is a legal way to get out of your contract, and at that point, you would be refunded your earnest money. Another way you would be refunded is if you have your appraisal done and the home does not meet appraisal. Say you have agreed to a purchase price of, say, $300,000 and it comes in at $290,000, then you have the legal right to walk away if you would like. And in that scenario, you would again get your earnest money back. And then another third way you could get your money back is that if your financing for some reason falls through, your loan, something happens with that, you lose your job, something happens along those lines and your financing falls apart, then you would also, there'd be another legal reason for you to get your earnest money back. Just make sure and talk to your agent about it, because every area, every state is different and has different laws regarding that. So now let's talk about some examples of when you wouldn't get your earnest money refunded. We already talked about the ways you can legally terminate your contract and get it refunded, but say you just have a change of heart, you bit off more than you can chew, you're not ready to buy a house, you get cold feet, and you basically just throw up your hands and you want to walk away, you wouldn't get your earnest money back. Basically, the seller would keep your earnest money as damages for being in breach of contract. Or say you see a house the next day, you go under contract, and then the next day or the next week, you see something that comes on the market and you just fall in love with that house and you change your mind and you're saying, oh, I want that house instead. Well, you're under contract. So if you walk away to go get another house, again, you wouldn't get your earnest money back and the seller would keep that deposit. Now, I go through all these different scenarios with my clients in my buyer's consultation to make it very clear on timelines and what constitutes getting your earnest money back and what doesn't. All those examples I just gave, I make sure that my clients do not go in breach of contract, but those are some examples of when you would not get it back. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, your earnest money is a deposit on the home, so you do get it back at closing. And one form or another. So if you've gone through, at this point, you've gone through all your steps, home inspection, appraisals, good to go, your financing, good to go. We get the clear to close, all those good things we like to hear. And we get to the closing table, and at that point, you will either be refunded with a check of your earnest money, or your earnest money will be credited towards your closing costs. So let's say your lender tells you that your closing costs are $6,000 at the time of closing. So that they'll say you put $1,000 down, that $1,000 would be credited towards those $6,000 amount, and so you'd only be bringing $5,000 to close. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so now you know what earnest money is. I hope that cleared up that question. If you like this video, please give it a like, a share, or subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Or go watch this video next where I talk about why it's so important to get pre-approved before you start your home buying journey. See you in the next video, guys. Bye. Now let's talk about the ways you wouldn't get your earnest money refunded. So there basically, I forgot what I was gonna say. It's also telling the seller, and that's a wrap.